Welcome to part 7 in this series, Riding Across America. As we head out from the hotel this morning in Bisbee, we are fortunate enough to have a suggestion for our route today, to ride a section of the Arizona BDR near the Mexican border and then continue on to wine country. Sterling Noren, who owns the hotel where we're staying at, is an acclaimed videographer, a motorcycle enthusiast, and an ambassador of the ADV world today. I could not have appreciated his suggestion more, and I'm looking forward to this experience off-road as we start our day heading towards Lowell, a suburb of Bisbee, and then on to the Breakfast Club, which will be our first stop this morning. Bisbee in the Mule Mountains of southeastern Arizona has an extensive mining history dating from the 1870s when the first claim was staked and became one of the largest copper mining centers in the United States, made up of a diverse population from all around the world. The town attracted miners and settlers led by companies like the Copper Queen Consolidated Mining Company and became known as the Queen of the Copper Camps. The first open pit mine at Bisbee was the Sacramento Pit, comprised of 35 acres. It began as a shaft in 1911 and 6 years later developed as an open pit. Phelps Dodge invested a concentrator to mine the 550-foot-high Sacramento Hill, which then, within a few years, was reduced to a massive pit. Rail played an important role in its evolution with 2 diesel locomotives that hauled materials outside the perimeters of the growing mine. And in 1950, the Korean War created a need for increased copper production, and Phelps Dodge developed an eastern extension of the Sacramento, and it became known as the Lavender Pit. Now let's get these bikes parked and go for a little walk. We are just in Bisbee, and this is Lowell. It is all part of Bisbee. It is totally fun. It has all original gas pumps, and there's a lot of old vehicles parked along the streets, and kind of a feast for eyes. We'll take a bunch of still shots of this as well. We're going to do a little ride up through the canyon and a little bit of dirt road, and then a tour through wine country. But this is pretty special. It's looking like we might even spend a couple more days here. There's just so much to see. And now I see why Bisbee is only 5 miles from the border. The historic town is actually 11, but because Bisbee is actually so large and made up of many smaller communities, that's what makes it only 5 miles from the border. Love these old cars. What a collection. A little bit of new meets old. Very, very classic. And then the working mine right up behind us. All of these storefronts, even though there's nothing here, they're just dressed up in the antique stores. And it's really here just to display, but nothing is open. It's pretty fun. Politicians scrape shit from boots before entering. Oh my god, that is so classic, especially right now. We'll take a walk up to the next one. Arizona Thunder since 1994. And we have some Harley Davidson. And it says come in, we're open, but I don't believe they are. Wow. Just eye candy. Love it, love it, love it. And as suggested, we are going to have breakfast at the Breakfast Club. And Sterling from the hotel has recommended, and of course of the Motorcycle Travel Channel, he is most awesome, and he's recommended the route for us to go today. Anyway, we're gonna go have some breakfast. Lowell was at one time a sizable mining town that grew alongside Bisbee, and today it stands as a timeless reminder of the boom and bust cycles of mining towns and serves as a legacy to the copper industry. Erie Street is a time capsule with a ghostly quality that has been preserved as frozen in time to its heyday with vintage cars, storefronts, and signage. It is considered a semi-ghost town, as most of its original town site was destroyed or abandoned due to the expansion of the lavender pit. You may still find Bisbee blue, which was a byproduct of waste rock in both vein and nugget form from the copper mining in the area. It is a high-quality mineral specimen of turquoise that can be found in museum collections worldwide, and it is used in some of the most stunning and highly collectible jewelry. As we ride through the Sonoran Desert, it is one of the most biologically diverse and hottest in the United States, and it extends through Sonora and Baja, Mexico, and Bisbee is in the region of Sky Islands that have a unique flora and fauna. These Sky Islands are home to plant communities and animal species not found in the hot desert below, and in some cases anywhere else on Earth, making this area extremely unique and special. Riding to the Coronado National Monument, the pavement ends pretty quickly, and we started up a series of switchbacks, a little rocky in places, with a few washouts from the recent rains, and I simply missed this section of the video as I switched riding modes on my bike, and then we began to immediately climb, and I simply forgot to turn on the cameras. But that's okay, it's really all about the ride, and I have many more miles ahead to let you take a look at the view. The very beginning was a little steeper than I had expected, but this bike felt amazing and just tractored through the rocks feeling a lot more agile and lighter than I had expected. It's been way too many years since I've ridden dirt bikes, and this certainly is bigger and heavier than any of the dirt bikes I rode in my past, and a completely different machine than my RS street bike that doesn't feel great on the gravel roads for me. And as always, we seem to want to venture out into some out-of-the-way place, and in hindsight, there's absolutely no way in hell I would have ever ridden that bike up this road. This was the biggest reason for me getting the GS, and I'm really glad I've had the miles between BC and Arizona to learn this bike and how it feels and how it rides before we took it up the hill.
I think this is the only overlook, the rest is we're in the canyons. There might be a couple, but this is the big overlook.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it stunning?
And then that's the Mexican border out.
Yeah, we're looking into Mexico.
Yeah, isn't that cool? The memorial hosts 8 miles of hiking trails, which gains more than 1,300 feet in elevation and offers a direct route to a border marker between Arizona and the Mexican state of Sonora. Another stop should be the Coronado Cave. It is a 600-foot-long cavern containing a variety of formations, including both stalactites and stalagmites, and with it you'll find historic graffiti to explore and some areas require crawling, which I don't think would be much fun for Jonathan, as I know he lacks the love for such tight spaces. So for today, that will be an area for you to visit yourself, and our goal is the off-road ride today. We are on the beginning of the Arizona Backcountry Discovery Route, which in its total is a 750-mile scenic ride across the state of Arizona, and is more green and mountainous, beginning at the Mexico border and finishing at the Utah border. This south to north route consists of mostly dirt roads and winds through the remote high desert country, jagged canyons, wild lands, pristine mountain ranges, and a surprising number of water crossings. The route includes dirt, gravel, and pavement surfaces, which may include rocks, ruts, sand, mud, and snow, depending on the time of year. It can be completed in 4 to 6 days and is accessible by 4-wheel drive vehicles and is a double track. The official start to the AZBDR is a stone's throw away from the Mexico border in the Coronado National Monument, and the first section is 128 miles to Benson. Benson, where we stayed in the last video, was a railroad site chosen to cross the San Pedro River, and the town served as a rail junction point to obtain ore and refined metal, and in turn, shipping rail freight back to the mines at Tombstone, Fairbank, Contention City, and Bisbee. As we ride along this incredible route, there are many historical ranches and stops you can search out along the way, and perhaps we should have gone down to the lake, but I was enjoying the off-road route so much I wanted to keep riding today. We took one break and I walked into the muddy creek, and I found a large fresh cat or mountain lion track, of which we see near home where cougars are plentiful, and literally at our back door. But for today, since animals behave differently in an environment that is new to us, it's just best we carry on. We didn't see another human until we reached the pavement, and we kept moving, as we were lightly educated about the local coyotes in the area, which we were not too concerned about. Coyotes being that, not of the animal kind, but more of the human kind, not really something I wanted to encounter. I am really happy. I'm new to adventure bikes and grateful for my very patient husband who let me just feel it out at my own speed today and build some confidence for an incredible experience. And I am all smiles on this ride and have a huge appreciation of everything around us. The desert is beautiful, rugged and mesmerizing. It is also hard then and now. Arizona is still the Wild West in many ways. Ranching, mining, food, and resources are just as important today as it was in its past. The sunsets go on forever, and each morning brings a new day and a freshness in the early morning air that is re-energizing after a day of riding. I'm looking forward to tomorrow when we'll take a day to walk the many staircases and visit the library to learn about Bisbee history and the ghost stories that go along with it, including the Bisbee Raid of 1883, when 5 outlaws rode in, tied their horses near the smelter at the end of Main Street, and robbed a general store. Believing the safe contained a mining payroll, they killed 5 people. John Heath, who was accused of organizing the robbery, was sentenced to prison, but an unsatisfied lynch mob removed Heath from jail and hanged him from a telegraph pole. The other 5 men were convicted and sentenced to hang in Tombstone. From street battles in Bisbee's Brewery Gulch to the Copper Queen Hotel, which we talked about a little in last episode of Julie Lowell, who took her own life and is said to haunt the hotel today. There is a story of a young boy named Billy who drowned in the San Pedro River and was the son of a hotel worker. Apparently, Billy can only be seen by children, but the adults say they can hear him crying or giggling, and he's often seen jumping on the lobby couch and is reported to create constant mischief. You can also find an older man with his top hat and a black cape, and a bearded man who is said to smoke a cigar on the 4th floor and startle guests by appearing in their rooms. Some say that there may be as many as 16 ghosts roaming around this building. Another spot infamous for its ghostly activity is the Bisbee Inn, and people from all over the world stay here to experience it. It is believed that one of the ghosts perished in the original building's fire. On the 2nd floor, room 11 and 15 is claimed to have its own unique paranormal encounters. Another ghostly hotspot is the Oliver House, where 26 people were killed over the years. You'll find so many more stories to discover, and a great place to look is the Copper Queen Library. It has a great historic timeline display along with mineral samples. We got a coffee and we sat out at the tables on the deck, which had a great overlook of the area around us. These are all turkey vultures soaring around above us. It's incredible. We walked through town, looked at all the local hotspots, enjoyed the art and artisans in this amazing town that is literally an oasis in the desert. It was a fabulous day of rest, playing tourist, enjoying a walk around town, and learning a little bit about the history of this once prosperous mining community turned into an artist's paradise. Our adventure continues in the morning as we hit the road again for more fun in the sun. Join us next time for part 8 of this series as we head towards the Grand Canyon and beyond. Thank you for watching, and most of all, live your adventure, and we'll see you on the road.